baseball. It's America's pastime and Minnesota's passion. The all-new Neighborhood Sports Network, in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association, brings you coverage of the 2022 State Amateur Baseball Tournament. Coverage of this great Minnesota tradition is proudly brought to you by The Urgency Room, fast, flexible care. McDonald's, owners and operators of Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. Find your golden opportunity at mcdonalds.com/careers. Xfinity.
All right, so the call has been given to play ball here, and Delano Athletics, the top seed here, get a bye into the second round, and they awaited the winner of the Willmar Rails and the Clinton Cards. It was played last Friday down in Meesville, and Willmar just took care of Clinton in a big way, 15-1. And advanced into this second round game. So we had 16 first round games. The 16 top seeds from each of the 16 regions got a bye into the second round of the tournament, and they awaited the winners of those opening round games. And so far, we've gotten 7 teams to advance into the round of 16. Red Wing was a 1-0 winner over Watkins. Buckman 4-0 over Laverne. Really, Buckman is the only one that's kind of crashed the party, knocking off a top seed. They got an excellent pitching performance, 5-hitter in that win to get into the round of 16 as the third seed out of Region 8. St. Patrick, a number 1 seed, knocks off Urbank 5-1. Nisswa comes from 5-1 down in the 7th inning, scores 3 in the 7th and 2 in the 9th, and beats Raymond 6-5. El Rosa was a winner in the first round and then knocked off by New Ulm in a big way, 12-2. So Nisswa and New Ulm are set up to play in the round of 16. The Jordan Brewers, 5-1 winners over Ada, and they will take on Bluffton, 4-3 winners in 12 innings over Hutchinson yesterday. And today it's the Willmar Rails and the Delano Athletics to see who will advance on in this tournament. They play the winner of the Brownton Isanti. Isanti, the top seed out of Region 1. Brownton, a 7-3 winner over Gaylord last Friday in Dundas. The two of them will play, and the winner will get the winner of this one. And the Willmar Rails, Zach Ryerson, will step in, and he faces the draftee, Patrick Courtney, for Delano. Strike to Ryerson. 1 ball, 1 strike. So a lot of ball to be played here today. We hope that the rain that is predicted, the storms actually for later tonight, will hold off long enough. And a 1-2 count as it's fouled back, and now a foul right to the screen in front of us, staying alive. At 1-2, and excuse me, it's Adam Leastman, draftee from the Litchfield Blues, who is on the mound for Delano here in this one. Curveball catches the inside corner, and Ryerson is down looking, so first out of the game is a called third strike against Zach Ryerson. And Jordan Steffer will step in. Steffer from Howard Lake, Minnesota, Waverly, and then University of Minnesota. So by way of the Cougars to the Willmar Rails. Most of the players listed for Willmar went to Willmar High School, but you have a smattering of other players. Zach Ryerson and Adam Herman, both from Aberdeen, South Dakota. Pitches a ball after Steffer fouls one back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just underway here from Waconia with the storms last night down in southern Minnesota. They had to call Waconia back into active duty today because there would have been no way that they would have get all the games in that are scheduled to be played. You still got Class B games to be played as well. So between Meesville, Dundas, and Faribault, just not enough light and not enough time in the day. So they called up Waconia, and Waconia graciously agreed to come back. They did a wonderful job hosting this tournament last year as part of a three-city host with Chaska and Hamburg, and they graciously accepted the request to host a couple of games here today. I overheard somebody talking that Waconia, the home team, was scheduled to play at one point in all three different sites down south, and now end up back here in Waconia playing on what is their home field, Lions Field in Waconia. That'll be the game to follow. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Steffer fouled one back, and now Leisman reaches back for a little something extra, but just misses on the outside corner. So we are full count now. Leisman, Litchfield High School, and then Itasca Community College. So full count against Steffer. Has to re-get the sign again. These pitchers and catchers, when you're dealing with draftees, just have not worked together all year, and that's ball 4 just down and in. So a 1-out walk for Jordan Steffer. Bring up the catcher, Ashton Gregory. Gregory, the catcher, hitting in this 3 spot. Willmar High School, no college listed yet for Gregory. Takes a ball. So first time we'll see Leisman working from the stretch here today. Good crowd showed up here. I'm sure Delano was not entirely bummed to hear that they would be coming to Waconia rather than heading down south. Probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other for Willmar. They were going to be traveling either way, but a much shorter drive from Delano over here to Waconia than it would be down to any of the 3 other sites as the hosts this year in southern Minnesota, southern part of the state. Foul ball, and then a pitch just high. Gregory thought about going up after that one, but held off on it, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Close play over at first as they went with the quick pickoff move, did Leisman, but Steffer was able to just dive back in time. So 2 ball, 1 strike count, thinking that this might be a running opportunity for Homer, but Leisman misses up in the zone here. So good hitters count now at 3-1 for the catcher, Aaron Gregory. And strike called. Strike called, full count, 3-2. And that pitch misses, so first and second, 1 out here.
First baseman number 15, Jack Baumgart.
That the zoom is really foggy, so stay with the wide shot. Don't do. So after the walk to Gregory, Jack Baumgart steps in. That pitch is in the dirt after the first pitch was called strike. Baumgart had a huge day against Clinton. 5 hits in the game for Baumgart. He scored 4 runs in the game, was named the player of the game. Swing and a miss. Big cut by Baumgart there. And we go 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a pretty big spot here early. As runners at first and second, number 4 hitter, Jack Baumgart up. He requests time, and it's granted. Now back in, ready to go is Baumgart for the 1-2 pitch from Leisman. Chops it foul back behind the plate. Good cut there by Baumgart. So Baumgart walked in his first plate appearance. Then went single, double, single, single, single. Scored 4 runs. Drove in 3. So 5 for 5 with 4 runs and 3 RBIs. Not a bad day at the plate. Here's a ground ball to second. Close play at second. They get him there. So it was a slow chopper. Second baseman Schlepper kind of had to play back and wait for it. It was actually a fairly close play at second on Gregory. On the play, Jordan Steffer will move over to third base. And Sam Ederman will step in, the designated hitter. Runners at the corners here. Not great speed over there with Baumgart. He's about 1 step. Now he extends it to 2 off of first base, so wouldn't expect to see any sort of first and third play here. A good running fastball away from Ederman there. Catches the outside corner. So getting ahead now in the count after walking a couple of batters here in this first inning. Leisman starting to hone in on the strike zone. He got ahead of Baumgart and then got him to roll one over to second base. Foul back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes now. Ederman. Swing and a miss, so Leisman works out of the jam. Getting a ground out and a strikeout to close out the inning. And we're through 1/2 inning of play. No score, and the top seed, Delano Athletics, will come to the plate, and we'll be back to Waconia after this timeout on your Neighborhood Sports Network.
All season long, you've gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball and our hometowns. And on September 10th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Guardians at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the champions will be honored in a ceremony at Town Ball Tavern, and all Town Ballers will be invited down to the field for a special pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
Field Scallon back, has it measured. That's it! Air Freight Unlimited, your Class A state champions.
For tickets to the Minnesota Twins Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 10th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Leading off for Delano, on half of inning 1, center fielder number 42, Brady Miller.
Bottom half, inning number 1. First pitch misses, then a strike called. So Gregory looking at a couple of pitches here. Miller looking at a couple of pitches from Pratchett Courtney, and then misses outside. Miller, Delano High School, and then Gustavus Adolphus College. Ground ball up the middle. It's played at the shortstop. Moving to his left, Lessman had a little submarine sidearm throw across the diamond to first. And it's Miller. So one away. Here in the bottom half of inning number one. Just underway here from our auxiliary site for this state tournament, Waconia Lions Field. Strike called, even it up at 1-1. For Willmar over Clinton and held the Cards at bay as Willmar won a big one, 15-1, to advance to this second round game. We'll play down to the final 16, and then next weekend we play from 16 on down to a state champion on Championship Monday. Curveball just misses inside, so we go full now. 3-2 to the shortstop, Trevor Yannick. Shoots one foul out of play to the right. Delano High School on to North Dakota State University for Yannick. Full count. Righty versus righty. And that pitch is just off the outside corner. So just like Willmar in the top half of the inning, Delano gets a one-out walk here in the bottom half of the inning. Willmar got another walk to get runners to first and second for their 4 and 5 hitters, but good job by pitcher Adam Leastman to get a ground ball off the bat of Baumgart, and then a strikeout of Sam Ederman to get out of that jam. And now Toby Hansen looks to lay one down the third base line, but bunts it foul. It looked like more of a bunt for a base hit by Hansen and not a sacrifice. It works out fine, but otherwise tried to lay one down. Delano High School, and then on to the University of Minnesota for Toby Hansen. Left-handed batter watches that one just miss off the outside corner. We're even now at a ball and a strike. We say welcome to the neighborhood here, the new Neighborhood Sports Network. High fly ball out into left field. The wind that is blowing is kind of blowing from right to left, so it's going to push the ball towards that left field line. But no problem whatsoever for the left fielder Owens to get underneath that one and make the catch. So Hansen tried to shoot that one out into the gap and towards that 370 signs out there. 325 down the lines, 370 to the power alleys. Don't have the distance listed to straightaway center field, but looks like it juts out to about 400 feet. 375. Strike called. I'm being told it's just 375 to center field, so not really much curvature between those power alleys out to the center field fence here at Lions Field in Waconia. No balls and one strike to Jack Paulson here, number 4 hitter in the lineup. Paulson, Delano, and then Northern State University in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Good lead over there by Yannick at first. 2 outs here. Certainly a running opportunity, and as Paulson chops it foul, no balls and 2 strikes. Certainly a running count here as you got your number 4 hitter up, and why not try to get that runner into scoring position, and if you happen to get thrown out, why then Paulson starts the next inning with a fresh count. Doesn't go. Curveball just off the outside corner. Nice pitch from Patrick Courtney there. Still thought he might have caught the corner with that one, but home plate umpire says that it just hooked wide of the plate, so 1 ball, 2 strikes again. Keeping an eye on Trevor Yannick over there at first base. He's got a very good lead, but doesn't go. Chopper to third, played on a short hop, and up and firing a strike is Ryerson. Over to Baumgart at first, and Paulson is retired, so each team gets a runner on base. Willmar had 2 in their half of the first inning, but neither one is able to advance that runner beyond second base, and we will head to the top half of inning number 2. No score.
No hits. There were no Rails errors, and there was 1 runner left on base.
So, and lots of action going on around the state. The Brown Bruins and Isanti Redbirds are doing battle. In fact, that game just went final, and Isanti knocks off Brownton 3-2. And a good ball game there. They started the games at noon. They were scheduled to begin at 11, but in order to try to get those fields ready in time, they gave them a little bit more time. And then, as mentioned, they brought in a 4th site for this year. And it's the Waconia Baseball Association that's stepped up.
Shortstop number 11, Christian Westman.
It looks like Stark and Bemidji have yet to get underway in their noon scheduled start. Moorhead Brewers and Champlin. And first pitch swinging. Christian Lessman, the shortstop, hits it to his counterpart Yannick at short. Yannick is up with it and fires across. Close play at first. Lessman was hoping that he beat that one out, but home plate umpire said Yannick, with his toss over to Nelson, got him by a half a step or so and quickly won away here in the top half of inning number 2. And Adam Leisman really looks like he's very much settled down from a little bit of a shaky start where he walked the numbers 2 and 3 hitters in the Willmar lineup. And Leisman has a proclivity to overthrow once in a while and lose his hat in the process, and does so there, missing down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. So a youngster with a full head of hair off the end of the bat, pop up into shallow right field. Norman comes on. He calls off the second baseman Schlepper and makes the catch. So 3 pitches and 2 outs here in the top half of inning number 2. So Leisman looking to get the Delano Athletics right back into that dugout and try to get something going. Strike called to Herman, who probably wants to look at a couple of pitches here after 3 pitches and 2 outs. And a 1-1 count now, as that pitch just missed low to the right fielder, Adam Herman, number 8 hitter in the Willmar lineup. That pitch misses up and away. So Stark and Bemidji just getting underway down in Faribault at Bell Field. Swing and a miss at the 2-1 offering, so 2 balls and 2 strikes now. So after getting the first 2 outs on 3 pitches, this will be pitch number 5 in the at-bat to Adam Herman. And he swings and misses, so Leisman ends both the top of the first and top of the second with strikeouts of the Willmar Rails batters. That's 3 through 2 innings of work for the drafty Adam Leisman, and he'll get those Delano Athletics back into the dugout. Have another crack at Patrick Courtney, Altoff, Norman, and Wyman for the A's when we come back to Lions Field in Waconia. You're watching the State Class C Amateur Baseball Tournament on your home of every pitch of every inning of every game of the Amateur Baseball State Tournament, the new NSPN.TV.
Fast and flexible care. Count on the urgency room for expert medical care when you need it most. Visit us in person. Broken bone, chest pain? We're in Eagan, Vadnais Heights, or Woodbury. Online care. Sinus infection? Strep throat? We offer easy online care. Major to minor, we can provide the level of care you need. Visit urgencyroom.com. Mobile check-in now available.
Star Tribune covers high school sports as passionately as you live them. Don't miss a beat on the games you love. Check out Star Tribune all day, every day for the latest prep news, scores, and so much more.
All right, so Jeff Altoff will lead things off here for the Delano A's. Challenges you as a broadcaster when you're used to covering the high school team and now you start covering the town team. It's just difficult to not call them the Delano Tigers. They wear the same. No, they don't wear the same color scheme. They've got green to go with their orange. Orange and black are the Delano Tigers. Their opponents here, Willmar, also with a green and orange color scheme. So a couple of teams here battling for the pride of green and orange in the uniform category. And the pitch misses outside at 1-1, so we're at 2 balls and 1 strike to Altoff, a Delano Tiger in high school, and then on to St. Cloud State University, and that pitch misses off the corner, so 3 balls and 2 strikes. Taking a look over in Dundas, Dumont leads Richmond 2-0 in the 4th, and that pitch misses high, so we've yet to see a base hit in this game, but we've had 4 base runners.
First baseman number 13, Jake Nelson.
There's Willmar, got a couple of walks in the top half of inning number 1 before being set down 1-2-3 in the second, and now after a 1-out walk in the first, Delano gets a leadoff walk from Altoff here in the second inning. Strike called. To the number 6 hitter, Nate Norman. Curveball stays up high to Norman. Delano High School product. 1 ball, 1 strike, showing no sign at this point to try to bunt the runner over to second. Not much of a lead over at first for Altoff, and with Courtney kind of struggling to find the strike zone a little bit, wouldn't expect to see Altoff going anywhere. And force him to start throwing some strikes here to Delano batters before you're going to start getting aggressive on the base paths. And another pitch misses up high. So right now, Courtney's struggling to bring that ball down into the zone, and seeing that, the catcher Gregory will call time and trot out and have a word with his pitcher. Lights are on here at Lions Field. Overcast sky, so really shouldn't wreak any havoc. As mentioned, the wind is kind of blowing in from right field or from that right field foul pole over towards the left field foul pole, so certainly not going to help any balls hit to the right side. It might help a ball carry to left field, and now pitch misses up and in. Get back up from that one was Norman. Now with the number 7 hitter, Ty Wyman, and 8 and 9 behind him. See what strategy Delano employs here, but before that happens, we're going to get a conference out at the mound with the entire infield. I know one thing they're going to want to talk about with Patrick Courtney is, hey, let's start putting the ball in the strike zone, but then what are we going to do defensively if they're going to try to lay down a bunt here? What play are we going to have on? Are we going to charge the third baseman and have the shortstop go over to third, or do we leave the bunt down the third baseline completely up to the pitcher to coverage? So looks like they are kind of expecting a bunt here with the first baseman Baumgart on the grass and the third baseman Ryerson even with the grass or even with the bag and creeping in. There's a bunt, good bunt up the first baseline. Positioned it well enough between Courtney and Baumgart to get the job done. A lot of people think that with runners at first and second, you want to bunt the ball down the first base line because that's further away from third base, but really the prudent play is to bunt it to the third base line and force either the third baseman to get it or a much longer run for the pitcher to get over there and pick up that ball. Really very little chance by the time he gets to it to have any play at the runner going to third. But again, if you can lay it down as nicely as Wyman did, you can bunt it anywhere. First pitch to Adam Schlepper is a strike, and then a curveball hangs up high in the zone again. So first base is open, but we're early on in this one. Certainly would expect Delano to come after the 8-hitter Schlepper and the 9-hitter Leastman. Swing and a miss by Schlepper. The 9-hitter is not the pitcher. It would be trying to make sense of the lineup card that was given as a pitch in the dirt and a nice block by Gregory. So a foul. Right field line. Two balls and two strikes. Infield is in. Contact play is on, but getting a great jump and able to score on that ground ball off the bat of Ty Wyman. But the first run of the game is Jeff Altoff. And Adam Schlepper will step in. Runner at second base, Jake Nelson, was able to move up to third when they threw out Wyman heading to first. Ground ball to third, and it's booted over there at third base, and that's going to allow another run to score. So it was a fairly hard hit ground ball towards Ryerson, but it just ticked off the end of his glove and deflected over towards the shortstop Lessman. Lessman was hoping to get it and have a play over at first base, but no such luck. And it's 2-0 for Delano here in the bottom half of inning number 2. A chopper in the infield, going to be a hard play. I don't think they're going to have one. And they do. They get Miller at first, much to the chagrin of the Delano faithful, the Delano dugout, and most specifically the first base coach for Delano. Strong reaction to the call there, but only one opinion matters, and that was our base umpire, and he said out. So we're through 2 innings of play. Delano leads this one 2-0. We'll be back to Lions Field in Waconia after this timeout on the Neighborhood Sports Network.
You should feel good about where you and your money are headed. We can help you build a better relationship with your money, starting with our free Simply Better checking account. When you open an account, you'll also receive a free gift. Get started today. Think Bank. Meet your money.
Taking off for Willmar, top half of inning 3, left fielder number 17, Caleb Owens.
All right, so Leastman staked to a 2-0 lead. Will face Caleb Owens, the number 9 hitter. Squares to bunt. Called strike. And right back with a fastball on the outside corner is Leastman. Heading the count now of Caleb Owens. No balls and 2 strikes. Goes upstairs. Trying to get number 9 hitter. Chase that one up in the zone a little bit, but nothing doing. Owens, Willmar High School. Called strike 3, and Owens knew it. He just hippity-hopped his way back to the dugout. So, 2 strikeouts in the first, 1 each here in the second and the third. And still a couple outs to get here in the top half of inning number 3. It'll be the top of the order, and Ryerson. Ryerson was a strikeout victim of Leastman in the first, and Leastman spins that curveball in there for strike 1. So Leastman is getting a little more confidence with that breaking ball. Struck out Owens with it, and then gets strike 1 on Ryerson. Misses with the next offering, 1-1. Leastman rears back with a little something extra on that one, but misses down and away. It is somewhat interesting here that a team that wins their region gets a bye into the second round of the tournament and then hands the ball off to a pitcher from another team, a draftee. But you see that quite a bit here in this state tournament, as you're able to draft players from teams out of your region that didn't make the state. Leastman gets called strike and then misses down low with the next offering. To Ryerson, 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Willmar trying to answer the 2 runs that Delano was able to put on the board. Jam shot here, fouls it back to the screen. So Leastman got that one in on the hands of Zach Ryerson. Ryerson, Aberdeen, South Dakota, and then no college listed, so. Decided to come from one pheasant country to another, Aberdeen, South Dakota, to Willmar, Minnesota. Both excellent pheasant hunting areas. Also, good baseball towns. Ryerson definitely in swing mode here as that pitch well up in the strike zone. Ryerson went after it and fouled it off again. So Ryerson really making Adam Leastman work here in the top half of the third inning. He struck out Caleb Owens with a breaking ball. Now a hard ground ball, but right at the shortstop, Yannick. He's up with it and fires over to Nelson. And winning that battle with Zach Ryerson was Adam Leastman.
Second baseman number 12, Jordan Stepper.
6 in a row now. Set down by Leastman after he walked Gregory. Actually make it 7 in a row because Baumgart gets into a fielder's choice. So while Baumgart reached base safely, he did force an out at second base. So 7 in a row set down after the walk to Ashton Gregory in the first. And now here's Jordan Steffer, who walked in his first plate appearance and takes a fastball on the outside corner after a curve spun high. So 2 balls and no strikes. Steffer, Howard Lake Waverly, and then the University of Minnesota. Big cut there. Make it Minnesota Morris. Cougar, not a Gopher. And with that big cut, Steffer, 2 balls and 1 strike. Strike at the knees there. Leastman coming back here after falling behind. 2-0 is right back into the count, even up here at 2 apiece. Swinging a foul off the end of the glove of the catcher, Wyman. A little disappointed in himself that he couldn't hang on to that foul tip, but it just ticked off the end of his glove and squirted over towards the Delano dugout. And we'll do it again here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he comes up and in a swinging strikeout of Steffer. Second in the inning, 5th of the game. Through 3 innings of work for the draftee, Adam Leastman from Litchfield.
3, no runs and no hits. There was no Delano errors and there were no runners left down on base.
Leastman, and up north, who I tasked at community college to pitch college baseball. Now a nice little pickup here for Delano.
Fans, stick around. This is game 1 of 2 here at Lions Field in Waconia, Minnesota. We welcome the Waconia Lakers and the Fergus Hurricanes. Game 2.
Hey, Mike.
Approximately 30 minutes.
Guy did a little adjustment here.
Yep.
Delano takes advantage of a couple of walks, as it used to say up on that Metrodome scoreboard, walks will haunt. And it did just that to Patrick Courtney and to Willmar Rails in inning number 2. He walked the first 2 batters, Altoff and Nelson, and both of them came around to score. So 2 walks and an error in the inning. Resulted in 2 runs for Delano, and that's where we sit. 2-0, bottom half of inning number 3. Swinging a foul out of play on the first pitch to Trevor Yannick, and then Courtney misses up and away with the next one. Now that one's off the outside corner. Got a good look at these pitches here from our vantage point. You can actually see that one cross right over that inside part of the left-handed batter's box. Check swing there. Appeal. I think the appeal might be to the home plate umpire and say, did that check swing kind of freeze you a little bit? That looked like a good pitch there. Deemed it a little bit high, but I know from experience, difficult when you think that batter is going to swing and then they stop their swing. All of a sudden you got to call that pitch. It's much harder to come up with a strike call than to get frozen and call it a ball. But in any case, the break goes to Yannick, and the next pitch misses inside. So it's another leadoff walk here for Delano. They got a leadoff walk in the second and paid it off for the first of 2 runs in the inning. Another high fly ball out into left field. Camping underneath that one is Owens, so Toby Hansen, the former Gopher, has lifted a couple of balls well up into the air out to left center field as a left-handed batter, but got underneath both of them, and the left fielder Owens had no problem camping underneath either of those and putting them away. So 1 pitch and 1 out to Toby Hansen, and it'll bring up Jack Paulson. First pitch swinging, Paulson, shallow center field, very unhappy with himself. Slams the bat down as he trots up the line. Trevor Yannick will have to retreat back to first base. So again, both Hansen and Paulson felt like that first pitch might be the best one they see of the at-bat. They go after it, and both of them hit high fly balls. Hansen's out into more medium, deep left field, but Paulson's shallow center that Dierenfeld came in on, called off both of his middle infielders, Lessman and Steffer, and made the catch for out number 2. So after the leadoff walk, 2 pitches and 2 outs, and Jeff Altoff will step in for the Athletics. Delano also has a beautiful ballpark that they play their town team games in. Dick Train recognized out at the field. Yannick fakes as if he's going to steal, and the curveball hangs up high to Altoff. So 2 balls and no strikes. Yannick must have felt like he just didn't get quite as good of a jump as he needed to, so he quickly slammed on the brakes and headed back to first base. That would have been a good pitch to run on there. It's a high spinning curveball. Ooh, they had him leaning a little bit, but Courtney's throw a little high, and so Baumgart unable to catch and apply a quick tag, and in doing so, Yannick was able to get that right hand back on the base. 2-0 here. Off the end of the bat, looper down the right field line, but that's going to drift foul. Get on top of the net of the batting cage down that right field line. So if somebody is going to get their dollar token, they're going to have to earn that foul ball. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Altoff walked and scored in his first plate appearance. Takes a good hard look at that pitch at the knees on the outside corner. Nice pitch from Courtney there. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Courtney spent most of this game working from the stretch. Chopper foul up the third baseline. He got Brady Miller to ground out to short, but then walked Yannick, which forced him to work from the stretch, and then he walked the leadoff batter in each of the next 2 innings. So he was basically working from the stretch the rest of each of those innings, but so far so good here in inning number 3. Got Hansen and Paulson each on a pitch to fly out, but Altoff and Courtney are in a battle here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And if Yannick were going to want to run, this might be a good count and pitch to do it on, but line drive, base hit right up the middle to the left of shortstop Leisman. It wasn't hit all that hard, but hard enough to get past the shortstop Leisman and carry out into center field. So runners at first and second here for Jake Nelson. Altoff now 1-for-1 with a walk and a run scored, and they're going to play behind him, and he has got a huge lead. I think they may want to sneak the first baseman, Baumgart, some sort of a timing play, unless Altoff shortens that lead up a little bit. He does keep an eye on Baumgart behind him as the first pitch curveball is in there for a strike, and then a fastball just inside to Jake Nelson. Nelson walked and scored in his first at-bat. He scored off the air from the third baseman Ryerson. And the ground ball off the bat of Adam Schlepper. Ryerson just kind of let the ball play him. It hit off the heel of his glove and kicked over towards shortstop Leisman. Line drive into center field, but going over and reaching up and making the catch is the shortstop Leisman. So he got it off the end of the bat, so it looked like it was hit probably harder than it was, but potentially targeted for center field, but an excellent catch on the run by the shortstop of the Willmar Rails, and Christian Leisman. And that took care of Delano. They strand a couple of runners. We're through 3 innings of play, and we'll come back to Lions Field in Waconia and the Class C State Baseball Tournament on the Neighborhood Sports Network.
Fast and flexible care. Count on the urgency room for expert medical care when you need it most. Visit us in person. Broken bone, chest pain? We're in Eagan, Vadnais Heights, or Woodbury. Online care. Sinus infection? Strep throat? We offer easy online care. Major to minor, we can provide the level of care you need. Visit urgencyroom.com. Mobile check-in now available.
All right, so Ashton Gregory will step in. Willmar trailing 2-0. One ball, one strike here. And inside corner at the knees, so strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To Gregory. Gets out on the front foot and rolls that one over. Do it again here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jammed, pulled foul by Gregory. He went after that jam shot. That is coming inside on him, Leisman. Not letting Gregory get those arms extended here. Ground ball gets past Leisman, out to second. Quickly up with it is Schlepper. And throws it on to first. to Nelson to get the out. So Gregory, after pulling a couple of balls foul, tries to go up the middle. Good play by Schlepper. He knew he didn't have a ton of time, but boy, that ball went from glove to hand and over to first baseman Nelson very quickly. And Jack Baumgart steps in. They were down to a knee and then just came up with that glove and showed the umpire the baseball. Boy, that slicing ball, when we talk about that wind, is probably going to push anything off of the left-handed batter's box over towards the line and left. Slicing line drive off the bat of Baumgart, but Toby Hansen tracked it down and made a good sliding catch. Went down to one knee and then came up and showed the umpire that he had made the catch. So good play out there in left field by Hansen after a good play made by second baseman Schlepper. And Delano showing off a little leather here in this top half of inning number 4. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Sam Ederman. Pitch just misses down and in. So Ederman, 2 ball and 1 strike count. Pitch misses in. Delano with a long history of success here in state amateur baseball, the 1988 Class C champs, but they've been in the state tournament the last 3 years. And strike on the outside corner. Ederman can't believe that one. Fastball that was running away from Ederman, and the home plate umpire said that that 3-1 pitch caught the outside corner. So we go full here. So we're going to foul back and out of play. So 2014, 2015, 2016, missed in 17, back in 18, missed in 19, but then back in 20 and 21. So Delano, a regular combatant here in this Class C tournament, and then missing badly with that 3-2 offering was Leastman, so it's a 2-out base runner for the Willmar Rails. Willmar also been in the tournament a lot, but the first time that they've been back since 2003. So they had a run. They were champions in 1935, champs in 1958, third place in 1987, made it in 2002 and 2003, but after a 19-year hiatus, they're back here at the state tournament. They've already won 1 game in this tournament, knocking out Clinton 15-1 to earn a right to play here in this second round game against Delano. They find themselves down a couple of runs, but have a runner at first, and Sam Ederman and Leastman will check on the runner over there after missing with the first pitch to Christian Lessman. Lessman finds the hole between short and third. Just kind of dropped the barrel of the bat on that 1-0 offering and lined it into left field. So the walk to Ederman ended a streak of 10 consecutive retired by Adam Leastman, and now by Adam Leastman, yes, and now Sam Ederman will move up on the base hit off the bat of Christian Lessman, the first hit of the game. Ground ball out to second base. First pitch swinging is Jaden Dierenfeld, and rolls it out to Schlepper at second. Schlepper true-handed out there. Comes up with it and makes the play. So That'll do it for Willmar in the top half of inning number 4. So they get 2 runners on and strand them at first and second in the first. They get 2 runners on, strand them both in the 4th, and every batter in between there was retired in order by Adam Leastman.
Rollins, the official baseball of the Minnesota Baseball Association.
So we're through 3.5 innings of play. And Delano leads this one 2-0. Just 1 hit on the board for each team, but Delano taking advantage of a couple of walks in the bottom half of inning number 2, and also an error by the third baseman Ryerson. He turned it into 2 runs and continued to lead this one 2-0. Underway with Webster and Monticello. It's like down in Dundas. We'll try to continue to watch this action for you around the state and keep you updated. Out in a nice Sandy looking to get underway. Their contest, but we're right here in Waconia. A little slicer down the right field line. That's going to fall down for a base hit. Nate Norman took a 1-0 pitch. Just shot it down that right field line. Right fielder Herman gave chase, but that ball was just 5 or 6 feet fair inside the line down there, so wasn't hit all that high, so no chance for the right fielder Herman to get over and make a play on that one. So it's another leadoff base runner for Delano, and back to the stretch for Patrick Courtney. I don't know if he is more comfortable from the windup than he is the stretch. Bunt out in front of home plate. Good execution by Wyman there to get that bunt down and move the runner up. Now we're going to have a discussion here and see if maybe they're going to ask for some sort of interference, as the bat came well out into the playing field, out by where the ball is, that the catcher Gregory had to hop up and play. So as you can see, our home plate umpire is listening very intently, and now he'll have his say. And they come to an agreement. No punches thrown. And back to the dugout after a nod of approval. Just wanted to get an explanation and make sure he understood why they might not consider an interference call against Wyman there. Well, it did look like Wyman and Gregory might have got a little tangled up too coming out of the batter's box for Wyman. But no harm, no foul, says our umpires, and we play on here. So the sacrifice does work for Wyman. He gets Nate Norman out to second base, and Adam Schlepper steps in. A looping fly ball out into right field, but it's right at Herman out there. He'll put it away. Norman fakes a tag, but he's not going anywhere. That ball was not hit all that deeply. Out into right field. Stark and Bemidji still not underway. Lots of action here around the state, and they're just meeting behind home plate between Moorhead and Champlin Park. So Broughton and Isanti looking to get underway. Monticello has gotten their game started. That one's early as Broughton and Monticello face off in a second round game, and a strike called now to Miller. Another strike on the outside corner. Miller didn't like that call, thought it was outside. So he's behind in the count now. 0-2. Miller's grounded out twice, once to short, once to second. He's got Nate Norman out there at second base. The Gustavus Adolphus Gusty. Hard ground ball kind of got knocked down by the mound. Slowed it down enough for the shortstop Lessman to get over there, scoop it up, and fire it across to get Herman. When that one jumped off the bat, it looked like it might be headed for center field, but it hit the dirt on the hill of the mound, and it really took a lot of the steam off of that ball. And it was an easy play then for the shortstop Lessman, and they strand a runner at second. 2-0 as we head to the fifth. We'll be back with that action for you on the Neighborhood Sports Network after this timeout.
You should feel good about where you and your money are headed. We can help you build a better relationship with your money, starting with our free Simply Better checking account. When you open an account, you'll also receive a free gift. Get started today. Think Bank. Meet your money.
Such news! It's everything I ever wanted.
Right fielder, number 3, Adam Herman.
All right, so it's not Brownton, it's Webster and Monticello doing battle in a second round game at Dundas. First pitch swinging, rolling it over to second. Schlepper's been busy over there. It's Adam Herman. First pitch swinging, grounds out.
Number 17, Caleb Owens.
So fourth ground out. That's been handled by Schlepper there at second, and he's been clean on all of them. Fastball from Leastman, who's at least been able to keep his hat on the top of his head in the last couple innings, but missed down low in the dirt with that fastball. Now ground ball to third. Paulson, good fundamental play over there. He just took a shuffle step, had that glove at the ready, gobbled it up and fired a strike. So again, 3 pitches and 2 outs for Adam Leastman here in the top half of inning number 5, and he's really just kind of cruising right along here. Has allowed 4 base runners, 2 in the first, 2 in the fourth, but was able to get out of each of those situations and gets a strike into Ryerson and a strike on the outside corner, so ahead in the count, 0-2. Very efficient inning so far for Adam Leastman. 5 pitches, 4 of them for strikes, 2 of them for outs. Now he wants one more sign from his catcher Wyman. Wants a curveball. He actually leaves it hanging up in the zone. A little bit there to Ryerson, but Ryerson can't quite get on top of it and fouled it back and out of play. Ground ball hard in between Schlepper and Nelson, and Ryerson has himself a 2-out base hit.
Second baseman, number 12, Jordan Stuffer.
So 2 hits on the board for each team. But it was Delano who was able to come through with a couple of runs. They actually did so without the benefit of a hit in that second inning. They were helped out by an error by the third baseman Ryerson. But 2 walks, a sacrifice bunt, RBI ground out, and then scoring on an error. Produced 2 runs without benefit of a hit. And Jordan Steffer swings through a fastball from Adam Leastman, and again Leastman ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes to a Willmar Rails batter. Eastman works from the stretch. Checks on the runner, Ryerson. Ryerson dives back in, no problem. Beautiful Lions field here. Usually the MBA, Minnesota Baseball Association, doesn't choose unbeautiful fields, if you will, to host these tournament games. Waconia, Hamburg, and Chaska did an excellent job last year, now climbing the ladder on Steffer and getting the strikeout. So a strikeout ends the first inning. Strikeout ends the second inning. Strikeout ends the third inning. And now a strikeout ends the top half of the fifth inning for Adam Leastman and the Delano Athletics. And we are through 4.5 innings of play, halfway through this one. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Delano Athletics.
Twins 8, Giants 3. Twins 8, Giants 3 at Target Field.
Play continuing all around
Also,
4 different venues.
It was Champlin Park defeating Moorhead 13-8. In Dundas, Class C, it was Isani defeating Broughton 3-2 in 11 innings. And in Faribault, Class C, it was Stark defeating Bemidji 7-3. That's your Score Monsters update.
So we're getting some updates here. Stark gets the win over Bemidji. So Stark, another team, they were the second seed from Region 2, and they knock off the top seed from Region 10, Bemidji, to work their way into the round of 16. So Loretto and Bird Island still to come. Webster and Monticello are underway. Richmond and Dumont are doing battle. Waconia and Fergus Falls will follow here. Avon and St. Martin have to pick up a suspended game. That'll be much later tonight. Down in Niceville, they're just in the bottom half of the second inning of this one. Which misses off the outside corner after a strike to Trevor Yannick. Curveball to Yannick. He tries to go the other way with that one, but fouled it out of play off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball, little looper, chopper in the infield. No chance to get Yannick on that one. It was just a little looper over the head of the catcher, the pitcher Courtney. Steffer or Lessman couldn't get to it in time. It hit the ground, a lot of spin on it. And Yannick, hustling out down the line, was able to beat it out for an infield single. There's a base hit into left field off the bat of Toby Hansen. So back-to-back hits. So runners at first and second here for Delano. This time they're doing it with the stick. 4 hits now for the Athletics. And they've got their number 4 hitter, Jack Paulson. That was Toby Hansen, who's definitely strategy, go the other way. He kept that ball down on the ground there. Got flown out to left field each of his first 2 at-bats, but now this one a hard ground ball in between short and third to get runners at first and second. And Trevor Yannick is at second base, swing and a miss after a called strike to Paulson. So they're not going to sacrifice, it doesn't look like, at least, unless they pull the element of surprise with the number 4 hitter here. But Jack Paulson is grounded out to third and flown out to center. Down in the count, 0-2 with runners at first and second. Curveball, jam shot, just fights it off and fouls it off down that first base line, does Jack Paulson. So they've got Baumgart playing in front of the runner, Toby Hansen at first, and Hansen's got a lead basically to the right shoulder of Baumgart, who's now going to slither behind Hansen. Curveball stays up in the zone. Good confident take by Paulson there. One ball, two strikes. Time is called and granted at home plate. Now they'll step back in and are ready to go. Paulson with Althoff standing on deck, both right-handed batters. Ooh, that one comes inside, and spinning away from it is Paulson. I think he might even be a little disappointed that that one didn't clip his jersey or his pant leg. He's down 1 ball and 2 strikes, wanting to get these runners over. That would have been a gift there, but avoided it. Now at 2-2, we go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Really, the infield is at normal double play depth, if you will. Second baseman Steffer is actually kind of in the hole between first and second base, probably because the swings we've seen from Paulson looks like his strategy is to take the ball the other way here. So stays alive on that 3-2 offering. Runners stayed where they were at 3-2 there. They did not start the runners. And the 3-2 pitch is lined into left field. It's hit hard. I doubt, but the ball is bobbled. I was going to say, I doubt they're going to send the runner, but when the ball got bobbled, now Hansen's going to take off for third. The throw hits Hansen, and he's going to be able to get up and score from first base on a base hit to left field by Paulson. Now the left fielder Owens bobbled the ball. If he does not do that, I think they have to hold up Trevor Yannick at third base. But when the ball got away from the left fielder Owens, they sent Yannick, and good aggressive base running. We talked about the big lead that Hansen was getting over there at first base. So he came around. Owens' throw to Ryerson actually hit off of Toby Hansen, and Hansen popped right back up to his feet and chased home to score the second run of the inning, and it's now 4-0 for Delano here in this one, and we are going to get a pitching change as they are going to chase Patrick Courtney here in the bottom half of inning number 5. So while that takes place, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back and set things up for you when we return to Lions Field in the Minnesota Class C State Amateur Baseball Tournament on NSPN.TV.
PrepSpotlight.tv made history in 2020 by live streaming every game of the Town Ball State Tournament. History is happening again. PrepSpotlight.tv has been great, but it's becoming greater. Introducing NSPN.TV. The Neighborhood Sports Network launches this week with end-to-end coverage of a fantastic Minnesota sports tradition, Town Ball. See every game for a new fan-friendly monthly fee. Join for Town Ball State Tournament games, then stay for the high school and college seasons. NSPN.TV will provide subscribers with an abundant supply of local sports content, featuring live events called by local play-by-play professionals, comprehensive highlights, featured stories, weekly shows, documentaries, and video podcasts. Welcome to the neighborhood. NSPN.TV.
Yeah, hit and then an error that allowed the runner to score. So it's 7. Yep, error on the throw. Yeah. All right, so 2 runs in. Big 3-2 line drive base hit into left field by Jack Paulson, played to Trevor Yannick, and then aggressive base running by Toby Hansen. They do charge the air to the left fielder Owens on the throw. It really wasn't all that bad of a throw, but it hit the runner and ricocheted away, and Hansen quickly popped to his feet and scored the 4th run of the game for the Delano Athletics. And Jeff Altoff will step in to face the new pitcher. It's Bennett Knapper, a draftee from Granite Falls, and a fly ball left field. It's carrying out there deep at the warning track. Making the catch is Owen. So Altoff gave it a ride, but with a little help from the wind to keep that ball in the ballpark. Just at the base of the fence, the left fielder Owens, Caleb Owens, was able to get back and make a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Paulson had to stay right there at first base, so Altoff gave it a ride against, as we were saying, Bennett Knapper, a draftee from the Granite Falls Kilowatts, Yellow Medicine East High School, and Ridgewater College. And the right-hander will come in and replace the starting pitcher for the Willmar Cardinals. Patrick Courtney. And a ball after a called strike at the knees, so 1 ball, 1 strike to Jake Nelson. Nelson is walk and then lined out to end the bottom half of the 3rd inning to shortstop. No time called at the plate. They looked like they were going to potentially put some sort of a pickoff play on, but again, with these drafted players, really not much chance to work on things like timing pickoff plays. But a big lead out there being taken by Jack Paulson. And that pitch misses. And 2 balls and 1 strike. Strike called. Even the count now at 2-2 to Jake Nelson. Nelson from Anoka and then St. Thomas University, or University of St. Thomas. Played for Chris O'Lean over there in St. Paul. Shoots one foul up the first baseline. A good program. Now a Division I program. And that one comes in, and Nelson doesn't jump out of the way of that pitch by any stretch of the imagination, but did make enough of an effort where he's going to be granted first base. So does set up the force here in the infield with first base open. But again, down by 4 runs, Willmar can't really afford to be putting more base runners on the base paths. And again, they won't hold the runner on at first, and that allows Nelson to take a big lead over there at first base as Nate Norman, the right fielder, fouls one back to the screen. Norman, Delano Tiger High School, doesn't have a college listed. Curveball is in the dirt. 1-1. Good amount of room back behind home plate here. I think anything that gets by the catcher is almost a guarantee for runners to move up a base. Now a little jam shot in the infield. Going to be a tough play. Baumgart comes up with it, spins, and makes a good throw to Lessman covering at second. So a tough play there. If Knapper wasn't able to catch that one in the air, which he was not, it was going to fall with a lot of spin on it. And Baumgart made a nice play on it to come up with it and fire it down to Lessman covering at second. They get the force on Jake Nelson. So Norman is on the fielder's choice on the play. Paulson will move up to third. So first and third, 2 outs now. Knapper with that running fastball in on the hands of Ty Wyman. Wyman also a Delano High School graduate and then no college ball listed in the program here. 1 strike. Knapper kind of with that sidearm type delivery. Ball gets on that batter quickly, and the high fastball, Wyman unable to catch up to that one. Swung through it, and no balls and 2 strikes, so going to keep an eye on Nate Norman. Might think this would be a time for him to try to swipe second base here. With the no ball, 2 strike count on the batter. Doesn't go on that pitch, and Wyman fouls it back to the screen in front of us. So a couple of miscues have led to a couple of runs for Delano by Willmar defensively. Chopper to third, runner was going, so he'll have to go to first. A big skip step by Ryerson, and he sends it over to Baumgart, and that'll do it for Wyman and Delano. But they send 7 to the plate. They score 2. And through 5 innings of play, the top seed.
Delano, bottom half of inning 5. 2 runs on 3 hits. There was 1
from the region.
There were 2 runners left on base.
Region 12, the Delano Athletics lead the 3rd seed from Region 4, the Willmar Rails.
4, Willmar 0.
4-0 as we head to the bottom half of inning number 6, and we'll be back with that action for you after this short timeout on NSPN.TV.
Join our team while supporting yours. The all-new Neighborhood Sports Network, NSPN.TV, is looking for camera operators and broadcasters for our live game streams. The atmosphere of sporting events can't be beat. Be a part of the action with flexible scheduling and guaranteed game rate pay. If you're a student or adult looking for an opening into the world of sports media, or to just make a little extra cash, send us an email at jobs@nspn.tv. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Leading it on for Willmar. Top half of inning 6, catcher number 22, Ashton Gregory.
Ashton Gregory steps in here, top half of inning number 6, and takes a strike and then swings at a curveball in the dirt. So, as he's done much of the day today, Adam Leastman ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, so you can really dictate the at-bat when you are ahead in the count, as Leastman has been most of the day today. It's been a 2-hit shutout. so far through 5 complete innings by Leastman. Six strikeouts in the game. A foul off to the right. Another foul out of play to the right by Gregory. So Gregory continuing to battle here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rolling one over down the third baseline. It looked like it was going to go well foul and then caught the lip of the grass and actually ricocheted towards third base. But it stayed foul. And we'll stay right here. So 3 straight foul balls by Ashton Gregory. And now swings at one in the dirt again. Having to step out in front of home plate is Wyman. Get a good throwing angle over to Nelson, and he completes the strikeout. 7 strikeouts in the game now for Leastman. So Gregory battled Leastman there, fouling off 4 straight pitches, but then couldn't resist that curveball in the dirt. And strikeout starts the inning. It's been the strikeout to end the inning. That's been the modus operandi for Adam Leastman here, but this time he starts an inning with the strikeout. And Baumgart, who's grounded into a fielder's choice and flown out to left field. 0 for 2 after going 5 for 5 against Clinton. Takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-1. Leastman has been able to work mostly from the windup here. Conversely, the starter, Courtney, for Willmar, spent most of the day working from the stretch. He gave way to Knapper, and now a pitch down and in that all Baumgart could do is chop that one foul over towards the Delano dugout. And we are even up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Check swing. They tried to go back down and in on Baumgart there, but able to hold up was Jack Baumgart and get a 3-2 pitch, and that one's in the dirt, so it's a 1-out base runner here for the Willmar Rails. They got a 1-out base runner in the first inning via the walk. They got 2-out base runner via the walk in the 4th. That was followed by a single, so runners at first and second, but stranded there. So 4 runners on base for Willmar, and all 4 have been stranded, thus the 0 in the scoring column. And Sam Ederman, strikeout and a walk for Ederman, trying to find a way to put the ball in play here against Leastman, who now does have to work from the stretch. Ederman tries to bunt that one up the third baseline, but bunts it foul back behind home plate. So behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So now the third baseman, Paulson, can take a step back behind the bag. Doesn't have to worry as much about the possibility of a drag bunt here or a bunt down that third baseline. And going down after that pitch was Ederman and fouling it back and out of play. So a lot of dollar tokens being handed out here between Gregory and now Ederman. Off-speed pitch, Ederman out on that front foot. Swings over the top of it. Second time now through 6 innings that Ashton Adam Leastman has struck out 2 Rails in an inning. Struck out 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and now 2 here in the 6th. Fly ball left center field. Going back is Miller, and just shy of the warning track, Miller reaches up and makes the catch. So a 1-out walk is stranded. That's 5 left on base through 6 innings by Willmar, and they continue to trail here 4-0. We head to the bottom half of inning number 6. Back to Waconia after this timeout on NSPN.TV.
Bottom half of inning 7. 2-6, Richmond 2. 2-6, Richmond 2 on the 7 at Faribault. And over at Douglas, bottom of 4, Monticello 1, Webster 1. Monticello 1, Webster 1, bottom of 4. That's scoreboard update brought to you by AIM Electronics. Out for Delano, bottom half of inning 6, second baseman number 1, Adam Schlepper.
Schlepper steps in, leading off the bottom half of inning number 6, and chops one over towards third base. Ryerson charges and makes a good throw across the diamond. So back-to-back ground balls, one to end the 5th and one to start here the 6th to Ryerson. And there's one away here in the bottom half of inning number 6. Delano looking to add on to what is already a comfortable 4-0 lead, the way that Adam Leastman is firing strikes. Fly ball left field. Owens hesitated, but then comes on. A ball off the bat of Brady Miller.
Shortstop, number 17, Trevor Yannick.
And Trevor Yannick will step in after 2 quick outs here in the bottom half of inning number 6. Strike called. Curveball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is down low and in the dirt. Strike called at 2-1. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Time is called and granted. 2-2 here to Yannick. Pops it up in the infield. Baumgart drifting over into foul territory and makes the catch. So quick 1-2-3 inning in the bottom half of inning number 6. We'll head to the 7th. 4-0 Delano.
For Delano, bottom half of inning 6. No runs on, no hits. There were no Rails errors, and there were no runners left on base. After 6 innings complete, here in Waconia, Delano 4, Willmar 0. Number 19, Josh Tinklenberg.
So Josh Tinklenberg is announced as the pinch hitter for Jaden Derenfeld here to lead off the top half of inning number 7. See if he can't do something against Adam Leastman. 2 hits in the game so far is all that Willmar can muster. 2-out single by Christian Lessman in the 4th inning. And Zach Ryerson had a 2-out single in the 5th. And Tinklenberg ahead in the count 2-0, and then a called strike. One stepping back from that pitch. Looked like a good pitch there, but didn't catch any part of the plate, apparently, according to our home plate umpire. And Tinklenberg is able to draw a walk here, leading off the top half of inning number 7. Get a pinch runner then coming in.
For Willmar, number 24, Jaden Derenfeld. Your batter, right fielder,
So Derenfeld re-enters into the game and will run for Tinklenberg, who hit for him, drew a walk. And now turn it over to Adam Herman. Herman takes a called strike. 1-1. Much of a lead. And a bunt. Tried to drag that one up the first base line. Did Herman, but bunted it foul, so no balls and 2 strikes. Called strike 3 to Herman. And 3 pitches.
Left fielder, number 17, Caleb Owens.
3 strikes and a strikeout of Herman. And Caleb Owens will step in. Swing and a miss on the first offering. Just off the outside corner, and Wyman unable to hang on to that one, so tough for the umpire to call that one a strike. I don't think he was planning to call it a strike in any case. But he evens the count at 1-1 to Caleb Owens. And fastball is in there for a strike. One ball and 2 strikes now, so after the leadoff walk to Tinklenberg, 5 of the next six pitches are strikes by Leastman. And shooting that one foul off to the right.
Reminder to fans, those foul balls are worth a $1 token in the match shack. Courtesy of Sputters and Falk Realty.
Owens stays alive. At 1-2. Oh, ground ball to short. Could be 2. On to second for 1. Nope. On to first, not in time. So the shortstop, Yannick, decided to go with the underhanded toss to Schlepper, and Schlepper really tried to had to reach out to get that little soft underhanded toss from his shortstop. I think Yannick needed to go overhand and fire that one in. And the throw coming across was not in time to get the hustling Caleb Owens going down the line. Strike called to Ryerson. Ryerson has one of the 2 hits in the game for Willmar. Runner goes. Good pitch to run on. It's a curveball. The throw to second. Ball and runner get there at the same time. And the home plate umpire, or the base umpire, is pointing at the base that the hand of Caleb Owens got in time. It was a heck of a throw from Wyman down to the second baseman Schlepper covering. Really, the ball got to the glove and the runner at about the same instance, but our umpire said that the hand of Owens got in there before the tag. Pitch was called a strike, so it's 0-2 to Ryerson, but the next pitch misses just up in the zone. So 1 ball and 2 strikes, so now Owens in scoring position at second. And called strike 3 to Ryerson. He doesn't like it either. Again, another inning with 2 strikeouts for Adam Leastman.
For Wilbur, top half of inning
10 strikeouts through 7 innings for Adam Leastman. And we head to the bottom half of inning number 7.
Dumont 6, Richmond 4. In Gainesville, bottom half of the 7th inning, it is Blaine 7 and Dundas 4. Final alert at Target Field. The Minnesota Twins defeating the San Francisco Giants 8-3. Now pitching for the Milroy Yankees, number 12, Nathan Dietz. Dietz pitching. Thank you.
Nathan Dietz will take over here for Willmar, another drafted player from the Milroy Yankees, Marshall High School and St. John's University, and he'll face 3, 4, and 5. Toby Hansen, Jack Paulson, and Jeff Altoff. Here in the bottom half of inning number 7. Ball to Hansen and spins another one outside. Three balls and no strikes here to Toby Hansen leading off. Hansen takes a 4-pitch walk. So Hansen, first pitch swinging in each of his first 2 at-bats, shows a little more discipline there. And Jack Paulson will step in. Really good crowd amassed here in Waconia, kind of milling around and sitting down and enjoying the game. We've got another one to follow here. It'll be the hometown team of Waconia, the Lakers. They were the 2nd seed out of Region 7, and they'll take on the top seed Fergus Falls Hurricanes out of Region 16. As we continue to play these second-round games, and a strike called now to Paulson evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Paulson really had what probably is the biggest hit of the game right now, an RBI single out into left, and then hustling Toby Hansen drew a throw at third, and the ball deflected off of him, charged an error to the left fielder Owens, and Toby Hansen hopped up and trotted home with the 2nd run of the inning, 4th of the game for Delano. And right now, that is more than standing up for Adam Leastman. Runner goes, got a great break, and easily steals the base as Gregory's throw is late down to second, but really that base was stolen by Hansen off of the pitcher, Dietz. Pitch was a ball, so we're at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paulson gets hit on the back of the foot. Now the home plate umpire is saying no, that ball did not hit. And really, if I'm Paulson, I wouldn't mind going back into the batter's box here, because it'll be a 3-ball, 2-strike count. And on the wild pitch, the runner moves up to third. So I would take that if I were Jack Paulson. Now they check with the umpire out in the field, and he says the ball did hit off of the back right foot of Jack Paulson. But what that's going to do is that's going to send the runner Toby Hansen back to first base. So they could have had a runner at third and a 3-2 count on Paulson, but checking with the base umpire, they did get the ruling that the ball hit the back foot of Jack Paulson. So he'll get his base, and then Toby Hansen, who had moved up to third, will get sent back to second base, and Jeff Altoff will step in. Altoff lifts one into right center field. It's a long run, but running it down is Dierenfeld. Good running catch out there. Alert play by Toby Hansen to get back to third, tag up, and advance as the runner, or the fielder, Dierenfeld, was running away from the infield, so really no chance to make a throw on Hansen. So with 1 out, Hansen does get over to third, but really probably saving catch there. If that one gets the gap, that's probably 2 runs and a 6-0 lead. So a pinch runner coming in for Althoff for Delano. Another one that's going to try to get the gap. A diving attempt by the right fielder. Herman doesn't get it. Hansen comes in to score on the looping base hit off the bat of Jake Nelson. The pinch runner for Delano is number 20, Jackson Healy. He had to wait and make sure that that ball did not get caught. So he is going to make it to second base. That ball ricocheted underneath the glove of Herman, backed up nicely by Dierenfeld. But on the play, Hansen scores his second run of the game. Runners at first and second, and coming inside with that pitch was Dietz against Nate Norman. So Healy, pinch runner for Paulson. Oh, ground ball to second. This could be two. On the second for one. To first, it's a double play. So an inning-ending double play, 4-6-3 off the bat of Nate Norman. Minimizes the damage here in the bottom half of inning number 7, but Delano is able to up the lead to 5-0. And we are through 7 innings of play.
For Delano, bottom half of inning 7, 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Rails errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. Your score after 7 innings complete here at Lions Field, Delano 5, Willmar 0. Now pitching for Delano, number 12, Jackson Royer.
All right, so we are in the top half of inning number 8. I'm having a little technical difficulty here with the score bug, so we're at 5-0 for Delano here in the top half of what will be inning number 8. Delano picked up 1 more run in the bottom half of the 7th to extend this lead out to 5-0, and we're going to see a new pitcher. It's going to be Jackson Royer out of Delano High School for the Athletics here. And a tip of the cap to the starter, Avery Leastman. 7 complete innings of play for Leastman, just 2 hits and no runs allowed. And for Willmar, line drive out in the center field, but that's hanging up, and that'll get caught out there by the center fielder, Miller. One quick out.
Gregory.
Ashton Gregory will step in. Swing and a miss. The first offering to Gregory from Royer. Royer gets one quick out here in the top half of inning number 8. And we go 0-2. Called strike 3. So Ashton Gregory with not a good at-bat there here in the top of the 8th, trying to get on base and takes a called third strike. And Jack Baumgart will step in. Curveball in there for a strike, so Royer doing his job here. And head by 5 runs in the top half of the 8th inning, come in firing strikes. Got Steffer on a fly ball out to center field. Now a chopper to short. It's going to be a tough hop, but staying back and getting it and having plenty of time to fire it over to first is Yannick. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Royer. And the Delano Athletics continue to cruise through this one. Just 2 hits allowed in the game. It's never good when the errors column and the hits column equal each other. And that's where Willmar sits right now. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. 5 runs, just 5 hits for Delano, but they've kind of put them together, and they've got a little help from Willmar defensively with a couple of errors and a couple of runs scored on those errors. So 2 of the 5 runs scoring on defensive mishaps by the Willmar Rails, but still Delano has certainly done enough to be in complete control of this one. 5-0 heading to the bottom half of inning number 8, and be a new pitcher. Christian Lessman will come in from shortstop to pitch. And we'll try to get a look at who that new shortstop will be. At 24, Jaden Dierenfeld will come into the shortstop position from center field. And I can see out that far, it's number 17 for Willmar, Caleb Owens, who moves to center from left, and it looks like number 18, or number 19 maybe, Tinklenberg, is out into left field. So Tinklenberg in left, Owens in center.
Number 14, Matt Carson.
And Dierenfeld will move into play shortstop. And Ty Wyman is the scheduled batter, but it looks like Matt Carson is in to bat here for Ty Wyman. Chopper, it's going to get over the head of the pitcher, Lessman. Dierenfeld charges and is able to get Matt Carson running down the line. So good effort by Lessman to try to get that one, but Carson not a fleet of foot base runner. And Dierenfeld Strike called. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now to Schlepper. Lessman turns his back to the batter. Before the delivery. And a strike on the inside corner. Strike on the inside corner, and then a ball 3-2 and a pop-up in the infield off the bat of Schlepper, giving chase and getting under it and battling a little bit with it is the catcher Gregory, but is able to get it into that glove. And it's out number 2 on a 3-2 offering to Schlepper. 2 away here in bottom half of inning number 8. As it appears that Delano is on the cusp of advancing into the round of 16. Chopper up the third base line. They'll be smart to let it go foul, and they do. And grabbed by the third baseman Ryerson just as it went foul. One strike now to Brady Miller. Willmar's done a good job of keeping the leadoff hitter Brady Miller off the base paths here. 3 ground outs and a fly out to left by Miller. That pitch misses off the outside corner. One ball, 1 strike. Foul ball back to the screen. One ball and 2 strikes now to Miller. Lessman tries to throw that one through the glove of his catcher Gregory and almost succeeds. It went off the top of the glove. Remember, we've got another one for you here from Waconia. Fergus Falls and Waconia, and now 3-2 will be the count as Lessman misses up and away with a fastball to Brady Miller. Curveball coming in on the hands of Brady Miller, and he fouls it back to the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm sorry, 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll do it again here. Yes, please. And missing badly with the breaking ball there was Lessman, so it's a 2-out walk.
Shortstop, number 17, Trevor Yannick.
Trevor Yannick will get another opportunity here. Foul back to the screen. Yannick. So no balls and 1 strike, and a check on the runner over at first. This would be a good time for Delano to run, and he goes. Good pitch to run on. Gregory isn't even going to be able to make a throw as a curveball that was spinning well outside of the strike zone. Gregory had to backhand it, and really not much of an opportunity to come up and make a strong throw. So it's a stolen base for Miller. He's in scoring position here now with 2 outs for Trevor Yannick. Yannick 1 for 2, walked twice, singled and scored a run in the 5th, popped out to the first baseman Baumgart to end the bottom half of inning number 6. So, chance to maybe try to tack on one more here for the Athletics. Miller dancing off of the base at second base as Yannick takes a strike. So 1-2 now. Lessman really kind of with that scissors stance. Fly ball, right field. Drifting over is the right fielder, Herman. He'll get under it and put it away. So they do strand a runner at second base in the bottom half of inning number 8. But last chance time coming for Willmar. And we'll bring that action to you when we come back here to Waconia after this timeout on Prep Spotlight and NSPN.TV, your new neighborhood sports network.
All season long, you've gathered with friends, neighbors, and family at ball yards all across Minnesota.
Still going, gone! A home run!
Diamonds that define hundreds of communities. Town Ball binds together our passion for baseball and our hometowns. And on September 10th, the cornerstone of Minnesota baseball, Target Field, will host a party for all those who play, watch, and support Town Ball. The Twins host the Guardians at 6:10 p.m. Prior to the game, the champions will be honored in a ceremony at Town Ball Tavern, and all Town Ballers will be invited down to the field for a special pregame ceremony. Wear your team colors and enjoy a special night at Target Field.
Field Scallon back, has it measured. That's it! Air Freight Unlimited, your Class A state champions.
For tickets to the Minnesota Twins Tip of the Cap to Town Ball on September 10th, visit twinsbaseball.com/townball.
Your batter is number 2, Sam Ederman.
Sam Ederman will step in. So the big number on the board, 2 hits and 2 errors for Willmar. Neither of them are a good number here to be looking at in the top half of the 9th inning. The 2 defensive miscues helped Delano get 2 of their 5 runs and then just 2 hits in the game. Strike called and then a big swing and a miss as Royer continues on the mound here, and a couple of backdoor curveballs to Sam Ederman has him ahead in the count. Fastball lifted into left field, drifting over and having to reach up and make the catch is Toby Hansen. So he had to drift a little bit to his right. And again, that wind is probably going to push that ball towards that line over there. He just kept drifting and finally reached up and made the catch. 1 away here now, and the pitcher, Christian Lessman, will step in. Lessman has 1 of the 2 hits in the game for the Willmar Rails. New London Spicer High School grad gets hit number 3 in the game as he lines one right back up the box for a base hit. So 2 for 3 on the day for Lessman. 2 for 4 for Lessman, and Unfortunately, 1 for 25 for the rest of the Willmar Rails. As a strike called into Josh Tinklenberg. Ground ball to short. This could be two. Barehanded. Toss, and the scoop is made at first base by Nelson. So Yannick to Schlepper. Schlepper barehanded it. And Darren Feld, who re-entered for Tinklenberg, then grounds into the game-ending 6-4-3 double play. And the Delano Athletics have moved on here. A very convincing 5-0 victory over the Willmar Rails here in the second round matchup, and that will get the Delano Athletics on to the second round. They will face a matchup with the Isanti Redbirds, scheduled for Saturday, September 3rd at 1:30 in Faribault. So we continue to fill out this bracket and set up our 16 teams that will move on and play for a state championship next week. And I see we've got our player of the game. It's going to be starting pitcher Avery Leisman. And let's listen to what he has to say here.
7 innings, giving up only 2 hits, 10 Ks, 112 pitches. Avery, you started off with 2 walks right away and you settled in. How did it feel the rest of the game?
I was a little nervous, obviously, first inning, but settled in, felt good after that.
Avery, coming from Itasca Community College, you got picked up by Delano. What's it like being in this dugout with the Delano athletic team?
Obviously, they got a lot of state experience here, so it's just good to be around a bunch of guys that have experience in this kind of tournament.
Big win here going next week. Delano will face Isanti Saturday, September 3rd in Faribault 1:30. What do you know about Isanti going forward? Good team. Give it up for your play of the game, Avery Leisman, picked up from Litchfield Blues. Congratulations. Delano moving on, everybody. Congratulations to the Delano.
You gotta love the honesty from our player of the game. What do you know about the Isanti Redbirds? Nothing. And so, doesn't matter if you know anything about them. It's 9 innings of baseball, and the team who is able to put the most runs on the board will advance on to the quarterfinals. So we're setting up for some good matchups. We just had a couple of the lower seeds who've been able to crack the code and get into this tournament. Otherwise, it's the top seeds who've done the job in the finals that we've gotten. Red Wing, Stark was able to knock off Bemidji. Buckman was able to knock off Laverne. So 2 of the top seeds were taken out in that upper half of the bracket. But Isanti, the top seed in Region 1, will face Delano, the top seed in Region 12. St. Patrick, the top seed in Region 3, awaits the winner of Avon and St. Martin. That'll be later tonight. Nisswa, the top seed in Region 8, will take on New Ulm, the top seed in Region 2. Jordan, the top seed in Region 6, will take on Bluffton, the top seed in Region 14. So the bottom half of the bracket really loaded with the top seeds in this tournament, and it will include this bottom half of the bracket, the Delano Athletics, as they will take on the Isanti Redbirds September 3rd. Season ends for Willmar, but they were able to make it to the state tournament, win a game, make it to the round of 32, but they will bow out into the tournament to an impressive performance by the drafty Avery Leistman for the Delano Athletics, and it's Delano that will move on and continue their quest along with 16 other teams for a Class C state championship. So a pleasure to bring this one to you from Lions Field in Waconia on the new Neighborhood Sports Network. Another one to follow. It'll be Fergus Falls and Waconia. Come back and join us for that one. Until then, enjoy the rest of the action around the network. But for now, from Legion Field in Waconia, this has been Ron Osterman calling. The Delano Athletics 5, Willmar Rails 0. Have yourself a great afternoon.
Baseball. It's America's pastime and Minnesota's passion. The all-new Neighborhood Sports Network, in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association, brings you coverage of the 2022 State Amateur Baseball Tournament. Coverage of this great Minnesota tradition is proudly brought to you by the Urgency Room, fast, flexible care. McDonald's, owners and operators of Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. Find your golden opportunity at mcdonalds.com/careers. Xfinity, a better way to watch. Think Bank, meet your money. The Star Tribune, your home for the best prep coverage. And by the Minnesota Twins. Get tickets for Town Ball Night at Target Field on September 10th. Live coverage throughout the Town Ball tourney can be seen right here on the Neighborhood Sports Network. That's NSPN.TV. Welcome to the neighborhood.